what has been going on, especially in this particular part of the region. I'm talking about Greater Accra and also outskirts of the region, Kumasi, Ashanti region to be precise. You realize, say, among on a particular issue, John Dramani Mahama campaign to solve. I'm talking about the Doomso issue. Last week, we even saw say Kumasi Traders Association omo demonstration and omo party say Doomso ababak ama Doomso pa. So the whole thing is what is going on now. For context, we wouldn't blame Mahama because I think our bam, but also he has to solve it because whether there's Doomso or not, you told us about we don't care if someone caused it or not. But then I think our bam, so we definitely are giving him more time. But then the whole issue is that before a year, you best swear in Mahama and swear in impact and the transition team, they got the sad news say for crab last government and the whole of the country for the next 3 months. And even on what the cry to say 1 more also supply. So these together with other indiscrepancies cause huge headache for the incoming administration. But then one of the things as you see, definitely people are getting really shocked at is how the electricity company of Ghana together with its stakeholders in the government they mismanaged the sector. Now Abu Jinapo, the designated energy minister, and he is not mincing words. According to this particular short clip of you realize that he said, say, ECG to make craniema if you are bruchy, be their wires, their goods, near the other, and perhaps they have to pay duty of $500,000. That is $500,000, okay? And then ECG ain't me yes car or metia. So then Ebanesa GRU have to impound the goods and answer that particular ECG goods. Then what really happened? The basically say kwabrani bi esi wo chesa na kwabrani akas okay ECG form bitua the any auction. Your auction ade anka also obi tua 500,000 omudi na customs for auction for 100,000 cedis, no dollars, cedis. Duty na ECG no na $500,000. But when you skin to any see wa omo auction 100,000 cedis na obi abeto sa 100 obi abetua 100,000 cedis no ECG goods na worth of $1 billion no obegin for 100,000 auction be 200,000 one fa nipa ni no akoto ama ECG for $500,000. All these things were going on in the energy sector. You share this particular video
You go to their warehouse, a lot of the equipment are at the mercy of the weather. I just checked from the port, and the security report I'm getting is that a container that costs about $500,000 is imported. ECG is unable to clear that container. Some way, somehow, somebody is able to buy that container at auction for 100,000 cedis, bring it into the open market, and resell it to ECG as $300,000. It will stop. And I mean, it will stop. Whatever it takes to stop that, no matter how unpopular that might be, we have to take that.
What you just heard there, they are really shocking. So, can this really go on? And you don't really understand. So, this was the mismanagement. But then, see, if you read in between the lines, it is not mismanagement. A chrono. I don't hear. See, ECG for container ba. ECG for crowd meters, or more equipment, no more wires, somebody be ejuma. But they can't get $500,000 to clear it. Okay, no problem. So, we can make sure the deal, no. So a siwo and a customs aka so muntimi clear dia ene nyema na be so efa anya hwenti e be auction and normal auction for 100,000 Ghana cedis, which me am 100,000 metima ko charge sa container no ti kwabrane a owo MPP abamu e wa ko 200,000 na wa gisa ECG container no o we are we try ne ho we try ne ho abeto ma ECG for $500,000. So adia the bag and CK $500,000. So the bag and CK more. Let me do the calculation. 500 times a year, $500,000 times 15. You should be getting somewhere around 75,000. Let's do the calculations. 500,000 times 15. Yes, approximately $1.15 cedi. So that is 7.5 million Ghana cedis. Okay, it's no kwabrane. You see the intimate just 7.5 million Ghana cedis. That is $500,000. So converted 7.5 million Ghana cedi due to when and na kwabrane ako tua 100,000 cedis, not dollars. And a waji container no. And we are wasambe to ama ECG $500,000 because ECG no and go say mutua 500,000. Na mo jigus no eba. Okay, no problem. When tibe ntua it will be akoton auction nipa number to ama or toma $400,000 krana, which means you are talking about 7 or 6 million Ghana cedis. And this was what was really going on. So I understand cinema baby, of course people are really pissed off, and the government honestly I'm more time ECG so that a hell be you doom light 2 year program now cat will feel or show sell machines, but then I feel na papa ya ba bam you didn't see so cry now it is say I feel cry that is say oh baby did I will do the 30 days anniversary I feel no 60 days often on a second month money. So I understand the Ghanaian sentiment fix it is there, but then the damage yanum for you know it will take time. I'm not defending this government here, but then this is exactly what is really going on. Now, it's a so cost isn't here by a better.
And the exchange rate differentials. ECG's base in terms of monetary value has eroded significantly because most of the IPPs and the power generators are paid in US dollars. And so anytime the currency fluctuates and devalues, it creates a huge problem. And so even if ECG were to collect 100% today, they still cannot meet their obligations because of forex and exchange rates differential. That is one. Two, the losses have increased. Their ATCC, what you call aggregate technical collection and commercial losses, now hovers around 40%. That is unacceptable. The IMF and the World Bank project that we should be increasing tariffs by about 58%. I mean, how you're going to increase tariffs by 58% is another major thing. And inefficiencies at ECG. The collection, the losses, and all those issues ought to be addressed.
Are you currently facing that pressure to increase electricity tariff?
When they did the analysis, it showed that there was a huge differential.
Okay.
One, we don't pay for what you would call capacity charges or redundancy. It's not part of the tariff. And so right from day one, the state has to shoulder that bill. But even what we consume is woefully inadequate when you look at the billing or the approved tariff as against the cost of electricity. So if you do a one-on-one on a parity basis, there's a major differential. But more importantly, it's not just about increasing the tariffs. If you increase the tariffs and you still go with a leaking basket, I mean, you're going to have a major problem.
Right.
So we must fix the inefficiencies, increase the revenue base, reduce the losses, and then that can help us make some progress. But from what we are seeing, if we don't do anything, by the end of the year, the system will collapse. Already, Power has sent a letter that they intend to discontinue the supply of electricity because we owe them $370 million. WAPCO and NGAS have also sent us a memo. The minister followed up and came personally to threaten that in March they would cut the supply of gas. ENI is also threatening. Jubilee says that right from November in 2023, not 2024, so over 1 year, they haven't been paid anything. So the challenges are quite enormous, and we are facing serious headwinds that we ought to address and take some drastic decisions. It's a difficult one, but we'll do it.
I mean, is it likely that the ECG will be proposing, an upward adjustment of tariff anytime soon?
They've already proposed that.
They have already proposed
ESRP, which is the Energy Sector Recovery Program, based on the model, shows that there's a shortfall of about the requirement of about 58% thereabout in order to meet that gap. But as a government, we also have a social contract with the people of Ghana. It cannot just be about piling taxes. We also want to see how we can deal with some of these issues. Even our PPAs, we want to go to Parliament and codify that and make it into law. That when we are signing PPAs, it ought to be through competitive process. And it ought to go to Parliament. So that the people's representative can evaluate and assess what we do and determine whether they really want that contract or not.
Let's spend some time on this company that is making 3% of our gross collections. Do we know who owns this company?
I know the name of the company. The company is Haftel, and I think that we should put it out there. There's no...
I see.
Once you get into public business, the company is Haftel. I'm sure they are a profit-making entity. The problem is that those of us on the government side and ECG, should have done a proper due diligence, value for money, and ensure that their interest is covered. So I don't even blame the private company. I think that the blame must go to the administration at that time, our negotiators, ECG, and the rest. What did they do? And I thought that the contract should have come to Parliament. For such a major contract that has significant implications, I think they should have come to Parliament. And so we will look at it again. And I have even reached out to them. And the company indicates that there are certain clauses or certain conditions that if they are addressed, the rate can come down significantly.
Yes. I see. Now,